We start in Cleveland. We start on Sunday night, where once again it was the LeBron James show, carrying the Cavs to the overtime win against the Hawks, 114-111. A wild and weird game. The win, of course, gives the Cavs a commanding 3-0 series lead. We'll get to LeBron.
We'll get to Bron.
But we have to start near the end of the first half, the incident with Al Horford and Cavs guard Matthew Dellavedova. Horford dropping the people's elbow on Delly there as everyone's sort of falling to the ground. He trips over Carroll, who's also on the ground. Upset, of course, Horford was that it was Dellavedova. Gets the flagrant 2 after the officials went and looked at it a million times, and is kicked out of the game, ejected from this game. Do you think that was the right call by the refs?
Well, first, it's quite unfortunate, this one game that the Hawks actually played close, that they didn't have one of or their best player towards the end.
Sure.
I initially thought, there's no way they can eject him for that. There was no flush contact, so that means that he shouldn't be ejected. That being said, we always talk about intent here on this desk, and it really shouldn't matter about the result. He threw down a monster elbow.
Sure.
That likely would have gave Matthew Dellavedova some sort of minor concussion. I mean, if that...
If he landed it.
Yes, exactly. So the intent is there. You have to eject him, in my opinion, after seeing it multiple times. You kind of have to.
And plus, you hear in all the post-game interviews, basically Al Horford saying, yeah, we knew it was Dellavedova, and that's the way he plays, so I didn't mind dropping a bow on him. When he is admitting that he definitely threw an elbow at him, that's why I'm okay with him being ejected. And he didn't even argue with the ejection when they kicked him out at the end of the first half, because he knew he took it maybe a little too far.
I think he almost, while he's about to do it, he's upset, of course, that it is Dellavedova, and he feels like that he's rolling over on his ankle, and we can get to whether you think Dellavedova is sort of a dirty player or goes over the line. He almost, I think, thought about clocking him in the head, but because he's Horford, has no track record of being a cheap shot artist or anything, almost catches himself a little bit and decides to, okay, I'm just going to sort of hit him there on the shoulder and sort of moves it. I think otherwise he was ready to snap and was going to clock him in the head. So to me, it's unfortunate. I understand they're going by the, unnecessary, excessive, the flagrant 2 ruling. In the end, maybe again, because it was Dellavedova, it feels like flagrant 1 would have been the right call. Because it did have a huge effect. Yeah, I think it comes into play. I think it does come into play.
I think that's the same with J.R. Smith when he got suspended. I think they do take into account someone's previous record, and he's had a few instances in the playoffs. But I think you're right with Horford. I think he was going to lay it on him, and then at the last second he pulls out because he knows if he connects, not only is he ejected, he's going to get suspended.
Of course.
Minimum 1 game for that. And, I mean, you saw how big a blow it could have been. I mean, if he knocks Dellavedova out, he could have been done for the rest of the playoffs. So
you just can't see it from an NBA player. If you're an NBA referee or an NBA executive or anybody in the front office, you don't want to see big bows thrown around like that. And that's why I'm comfortable with him being ejected. Although at the time, again, I didn't really see flush contact. And plus, hey, I want this to be a competitive game considering the way the first 2 games have gone. I really wanted to see him in the second half. But I was totally fine with him being ejected.